God. What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Don't forget to hit the like, share, subscribe button. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below. Hit the notification bell if you want more content like this. I don't want more content like this. And I'm going to put a parental advisory note on the beginning of this video, because I know for a fact that this video is going to get spicy, because this has absolutely boiled my piss this week. I saw this last week actually, and I was going to do a video on it, and I thought, I got onto other things and decided, well, maybe, I don't know, maybe it's all news. But then I caught this article here. It's written by NMA, the New Musical Express, is it still called that? I don't know. Anyway, shout out to the NMA. So the headline, I'm enraged by this, I swear to God. The headline goes, Keanu Reeves was reportedly blindsided by Matthew Perry's memoir insults. Are you surprised by that in any way, shape or form? One of the nicest men on the planet, right? I'm not saying one of the nicest men in Hollywood, right? Because he's one of the nicest men on the planet. Because some of the shit that Keanu Reeves goes out of his way to do for people, he doesn't publicise it. He doesn't take selfies. He doesn't post it on Instagram. He doesn't post it on TikTok. He doesn't say, look at me, like some celebrities have done in the past with the, I take responsibility and all that shit, and TikTok and Instagram and all the influencers and all the narcissists that come from Hollywood. No, he's got two children's charities. Did you know that he gives money to, or he runs? He doesn't attach his name to it. The only way you know is because you find out in news articles and reports. Other people tell you. He doesn't say, well, you know, actually I've got this charity and that charity and I do this and I'm so great and I'm just, you know, fucking everybody praise me. No, he doesn't. He keeps himself to himself. And then what does he do? Fat morons like Matthew Perry, who I used to actually quite admire, because I loved the character of Chandler in Friends for years and years, because I thought it was one of the funniest things on TV. But no, he's a fucking knobhead. So the Friends star made several death-related jokes at Reeves' expense, which he later apologised for, because he's so sorry. I swear to God, I want to... Keanu Reeves is reportedly aware of the insults that Friends star Matthew Perry made in his new memoir. Oh, you've written a book, have you? And later apologised for, and apparently expressed a feeling of shock when he privately responded to them. I'm not surprised he's in shock. Imagine just minding your own business and then somebody decides that they think that he shouldn't exist anymore. And we'll get to why in a minute. Perry officially published his memoir, Friends, Lovers and the Big Terrible Thing, on Tuesday the 1st of November, amid candid details of his struggles with addiction, or dear me, including the revelation that he almost died of opioid overuse. Well, any use is not good, is it? But overuse is pretty fucking terrible. This was in 2018. The claim that he once kissed Eddie Van Halen's wife while the guitarist was passed out drunk. So you're a douchebag then? The book says Perry makes several quips at Reeves' expense. So here's where we get into the nitty gritty. You probably already know this, right? But the first comes in a passage about the death of River Phoenix, which to be fair was tragic for all involved, including his family. My heart goes out to him. But River Phoenix died of a drug overdose, according to sources. That's what I read anyway. He was actually a close friend of Reeves's before he died in 1993. Perry also starred alongside him in the 1988 film A Night in the Life of Jimmy Reardon. In it, Perry wrote, and I get this shit, why is it that the original thinkers like River Phoenix, I don't know what that means, I want somebody to please explain to me in the comment section down below what he means by original thinkers. So why is it that original thinkers like River Phoenix and Heath Ledger die? Well, it's just tragic circumstances, that's why. But Keanu Reeves still walks among us. So why is it that people like River Phoenix die and people like Keanu, who apparently don't think as good as somebody else? So basically you're saying that Keanu Reeves doesn't deserve to be with us without being, too morbid. Why? Because he can't pretend to be somebody else as well as River Phoenix or Heath Ledger, so he deserves to not be around anymore. Is that what you're saying? Like, like, where does that come from? Like, the level of audacity to put that statement out is just off the charts. Like, just the arrogance that comes with that is like, look, we're all like up here, we're all superstars, right? We're amazing. Because this is what Hollywood is, right? This is what Hollywood will have you think, right? And they'll keep having you think it until you think otherwise. That they are elite and they're better than everyone else. All you're doing's fucking pretending to be someone else for a bit and telling a story, right? And then we pay money to go and see the story, yeah? And you just do your job, pretend to be someone, tell the story, great, we'll pay you, right? It's no different to a plumber coming round and fixing your water pipes and whatever, and then you give him money. Or an electrician coming and rewiring your house and then giving him some money. We don't put them on a pedestal, but we put you lot on a pedestal for some reason. And this is something I've said for years, and I know Kurt Russell said it recently, that 500 years ago you'd be fucking dancing in front of the king, and if you were shit, you get your head lopped off, yeah? Because that's all you are a bunch of court jesters. And shit like this proves the point that you are. Like, how dare you come out with something like that? Even if you'd said it in public at a party, and you know what I mean, it was bad enough, but put it in a book and prove you're a knobhead. He made a similar dig at Reeves in writing about the death of Saturday Night Live Chris Farley. I love Chris Farley. I love him to bits. Tommy boy, like just a stroke of genius. Chris Farley and Brian Dennehy and David Spade, like one of the greatest comedies I've ever seen. But Chris Farley had issues and problems, all right, which led him down a dark path, and he's using certain substances and all the rest of it, and it just was too much for him, and it ended up bringing about his demise. But and then he goes on and says, I punched a hole through Jennifer Aniston's dressing room when I found out, and Keanu Reeves walks among us. What are you talking about? So after receiving backlash en masse, are you surprised there, buddy? Are you surprised there, Chandler? What were you expecting, man? He formally apologised for the insults, saying in a statement that he's actually a big fan of... Oh, fuck off. You can suck my balls saying shit like that. He's actually a big fan of Keanu. He just chose a random name. You shouldn't be choosing any names at all. Why would you choose a name in the first place? Why? I don't get it. Why would you say, oh, like River Phoenix? It's terrible. It's a tragedy. Why did he have to die? Why couldn't he die instead? Or why couldn't he? You know what I mean? They weren't as good as him, so why are they still around? They couldn't pretend to be people or play the guitar or whatever. I mean, in all fairness, River Phoenix brought about his own demise, as tragic as it was. Keanu Reeves didn't fucking tell him to do it. Wanker. What an absolute wanker. Reeves has not commented publicly because he's not a prick. He keeps himself to himself. Right, hang on. Right, stay there. Right, where's it at? Here, look up things like this. A small selection. 13 times Keanu Reeves was the greatest person ever. 13 times. He's done it about 300 times. During an appearance at the convention, he was blown away by an audience member's enthusiasm and called them breathtaking in response. Reeves once signed a fan's... What? He signed a fan's sign that was left for him on the way to a set of an upcoming movie that he was filming. He stopped the car, he jumped out of the fucking car, he grabbed the sign, he signed his autograph, left a nice message for it, and I think he left the sign on the side of the road for the person to come and pick it up. He's continually respectful of women. He's not a dirty scumbag. He's not a Harvey Weinstein. He gave up his seat on the crowded New York City subway to a woman with a large bag, right? Not only did he give his seat up on the subway, but he takes the fucking subway. He uses public transport. He doesn't get shipped about in fucking Bentleys and shit like that, because he doesn't brag. He's not a super ego. He doesn't think he's this and that and the other. He's just the most humble guy you can possibly come across. But he bought an ice cream off the ice cream vendor so he could autograph it for a woman because they didn't have any paper. Didn't have any pen and paper, so he bought an ice cream, got a receipt off the ice cream man, signed it, said, there you go, love, have a nice day, and threw the fucking ice cream in the bin. Right, here's the story that I was getting to. He was on a flight that was made an emergency landing, so he took a road trip. He hired a fucking minibus, man, and because everyone was stranded in the airport, forced to make an emergency landing. It didn't stop the actor from kindly posing for photos with his fellow passengers, right? And then he went on a road trip with them and dropped them all off at home. I think he paid for the minibus. There you go. He secretly donates huge sums of money to Children's Hospital. He runs 2 charities, man. Runs a private charitable foundation that aims to help sick kids, but his name isn't attached to the organisation because he's not a big-headed bragger. He's not an egotistical fucking narcissist. Back to this dong. She hasn't commented public on Perry's memoir. The Matrix star has no official social media presence because he's not a narcissistic egomaniac. That's why, because he's just a nice guy. Just, I'll do my job. I'll go and pretend to be someone for a bit. You know what I mean? I'll kill about 100 people on screen, and then in the next film I'll do 200. And John Wick 4's out next year, so he's probably going to kill about 500 people because he told Winston in episode 2, like, let them come, tell them all to come, and I'll just kill them all of them. So he does that, and then he just goes home, minds his own business. He minds his own business, Matthew Perry. He doesn't talk about people. He doesn't shit on people. He doesn't go on Twitter and argue with fucking morons for hours about shit all. He just keeps himself to himself, which is what you should have done. Because now you're in the shit and nobody likes you anymore. Because you're a fat, drunken knobhead. However, according to a source believed to be linked with him, he was surprised to learn of Perry's animosity. Keanu thought the comments came out of left field, and Insider is said to have told US Weekly. It's kind of backfired on Matthew anyway, which is why he had to apologise. That shouldn't be why he had to apologise. Should have just apologized. He shouldn't have put it in the first place, which means that he's a complete wanker. He should have apologised anyway. He shouldn't have had to wait for the backlash. He should have said, do you know what? I've put this horrible comment in here. Can you just retract it from the book? Or can I just say, I'm sorry, I don't know what I was thinking of. I think I was completely out of my mind at the time when I wrote it. After 3 bottles of Jack Daniels or whatever. Elsewhere in his book, Perry claimed that Cameron Diaz once hit, must be him, so he'd learned to fucking spell, once hit him in the face during a group date, and that he almost missed the shoot for Friends, the reunion, due to emergency dental surgery. Was it not because you'd had 4 bottles of Jack Daniels? Leading to his voice sounding different in the special. And he had to beg the show's producers to change the way his lines were delivered. And that Zac Efron once turned down a role as a younger version of him. I don't blame you, Zac. I think that's it. That's the end of... that's the end. It's quite ironic. It's very apt. That's the end of the article, and it's probably the end of Matthew Perry's career, because he's an absolutely massive bag of gash. Alright, I make no apologies for that rant, because I just absolutely hate shit like that. So I just thought I'd make myself a video on it. Thanks for watching. If you've watched this far, don't forget to comment in the comment section down below. Tell me what your thoughts are on this kind of shit that goes on. Hopefully I'll see you in the next video. And breathe. Bye bye now.